The presidency rejected a report by the European Union Electoral Observer Mission on the 2023 general elections, describing it as a product of a poorly done desk job that relied heavily on few persons. The president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, said he had many reasons to believe the report, based on the views of fewer than 50 observers, was to merely sustain the same premature denunciatory stance contained in EU's preliminary report released in March. The statement said that there was no sustainable evidence by the EU or any foreign body that was viable enough to discredit the outcome of the polls. To have this conversation with us this morning is Prince Adebayo Adeniji Adele. Good morning, sir. You're welcome.
Good morning.
All right, let's start off this way. Let us look at the EU's stance on the conduct of the elections. According to the report, the EU mentioned 6 priority recommendations that they would want the government to look into, and that included the removal of ambiguities in the law, establishment of a publicly accountable selection process for INEC members, ensuring that there is a real-time publication of and access to election results, providing greater protection for media practitioners, addressing the discrimination against women in political life, as well as addressing the impunity of the electoral officers. And if you look at these 6 recommendations, it is the issues that has formed the conversations that has come from different quarters in the country, especially since the election started, how that people do not have trust. Do you agree with the EU's recommendation?
Well, let me start this way. I think you wanted to give me another name, and I told you the other time, I say it's Adebola, not Adeni.
Oh.
Okay, so please take note of that.
All right, sir. Apologies.
This is a lesson to us. A very big lesson to us. The Africans have not got their bearing. Why did I say so? You have not seen any European people who, the days of their election, and it is the Nigerians or Africa they are going to pick to come and decide the way the election goes. So it is a lesson. If you remember, in 1993, we have elections of option A4. Means that you line up, they will count you, they will be there. And it's also, they call it open ballot election. That is when option A4 came in, and you line up, people will see you, they will count you head to head, and they will record whatever they say. When the police officer will be at the back of who is the last person on that line. That 1993. Today, Beavers has now turned to how should line up. It means they call it Operation Open Secret Ballot. Means that they will give you open, you go and thumbprint in a cubic somewhere before you pick it out. Then the Beaver will show that this is a person that's going there to vote. See, I am so wondering concerning the report. When I read it, I laughed. See, there's no way the European people will know us more than ourselves. They're just eating money. They sit them somewhere in the hotel and begin to write a rubbish report. Anybody who is in a political party, and your political party cannot sustain to have an agent in all the 750,000 polling units we have in this country, forget. They are the inner who can tell you. They are the people who can say the right things to you. Not a journalist who are drinking somewhere and preempting what is happening at Oshodi, neither what is happening at Ikeja. No, we are talking of those who stood by the polling unit, who see the way it goes, and they can't in front of them before they place it.
Are you saying journalists did not report the actual?
They are. I'm not saying they are not.
Because I take back that. I told you on that I am a journalist. And we did our job.
Wait. See. A place where you have an agent of all the political party, I think it is 2 per each from the political party. They now reduce to 1. That one should be supposed to be 18 political parties in one polling unit that belongs to a party. And they are the one that oversee what is happening there. Apart from the electorate or the voters who came there to vote. How many times the journalists stood beside a polling unit? They will take their vehicle, they will run around, they may ask on one or two people to come and testify of how the election today was going. And not only EU, there was among of the people who supervise or who sees this election as an observer. There are some organizations too, like NGO. We were to apply it. Our organization needs to be applied, but we say, okay, what we have at hand is too short to us. We cannot just cover all the 770. That's why we left it. Okay? But today, there are some NGOs that covers this election. And they have a very good report that apart from the 1993 election, this one is one of the best you could have in Nigeria.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Sorry, Josh.
Okay.
These recommendations are not far from conversations we've had from Nigerians, electorates, members of the electorate who stepped out in their numbers, especially young people that went out to vote. And there has been talks around how that there are a lot of ambiguities surrounding the process, a lot of shadiness surrounding the process, and the pockets of violence that were experienced on that day that made it almost impossible for a great number of persons to exercise their franchise. Based on these conversations, you still think that the election went well?
Well, let me little disagree with you. And we should look at this today, and we need to be honest to ourselves. Unless, if you did not come out throughout this election, that's when we will not see the truth. I see the anxiety of some Kereje. I mean, Kereje means that those small political parties, that they wanted to win election. I see some bigger people or party who really wanted also to win election. We saw them on the feed, and the areas we monitored, we see that it is camp, which I can tell you, I have all the polling units with me, is camp, and they are waiting for the last result after the closing hours of the election by 2 to 2:30 hours. And all of them stood, nobody went to anywhere, they were there, counting it one after the other. And they are even verifying that, is this one valid or invalid? If your thumbprint has gone beyond where the line or where it's supposed to be, they will count it as invalid. And it is those the electorate identify that, okay, pick that, don't pick this. So I don't see where they are now going to tell me, unless in some areas where we see some videos where some local government or state officials begins to drive away some people not to vote for one party. That is not supposed to be. That's what I see.
All right. Let me start like this.
Okay.
Whether or not these mushroom parties in your description have polling unit agents across the 36 states manning those areas or not is not a subject for a discussion.
Okay.
But I'm going to take you from the aspect of you saying the Europeans cannot tell us more about our own conduct of election more than ourselves. Fine. My first question to you is this. The fact that a process by which something comes into being is more important than the outcome, what does that mean to you?
See, initially I said it that it's a lesson to us. It's a lesson in the sense that because we do not trust each other. That's number one. Two, we have also have it in mind that probability is that this election might not go down well. Bringing in some European people.